It's Taiwan's President Chen Shui-bian. This is TalkAsia. Chen Shui-bian is a man in a tough spot. While determined to secure Taiwan's independence from mainland China, he knows what it could mean for the island he's led for 7 years.
Back in the year 2000, when I first became president, there were about 200 missiles along the southeastern coast of China. Now, there are almost 1,000.
Internally, the last year has been almost as explosive. Mass demands for Chen to quit, recall motions and a corruption scandal enveloping him and his family.
Our judicial system will prove I'm innocent, and history will also clear my name.
The president sat down with us for an exclusive interview. President Chen, welcome to TalkAsia. Let's start then with the recent scandals surrounding you and your relatives. How have you dealt with it as a family?
当然，非常的遗憾。
Of course, it is regrettable, and I feel very sad about it. Many things shouldn't have happened, but they happened anyway. Of course, we must respect the judicial process. We must believe in our judiciary. Some of the cases have been filed, and some of them are undergoing the first trials. Some have reached a verdict after the first trial. We want everything to follow due process, and we'll work very hard to defend our rights and interests. The case regarding the Special State Affairs Fund is undergoing the first trial. Everybody knows that in Taiwan, only the president is endowed with a Special State Affairs Fund. I want to point out very clearly that not a penny has gone into private pockets. We have used all of the state funds on secret diplomatic work and also on work related to national security.
我在2000年当选为总统之后没有多久。
Soon after I became president in the year 2000, I made the decision to cut my salary in half. So, accumulated over the past almost 7 years, I've saved the nation at least 40 million new Taiwan dollars. It's impossible to imagine that I would spend 5 years to collect more than 700 receipts just to obtain illegally about 14 million new Taiwan dollars and put that into my pocket. I'd like to say that these cases are not as simple as they seem, the judicial cases. They're actually political cases. This is a phenomenon during the transition from authoritarianism to democracy. Maybe we could call it a growing pain on our road to democracy. But I believe that our judiciary branch will prove that we're innocent and history will clear my name.
We're going to get to all of that more in depth, but I just want to rewind for a minute and talk about what happened within your family. You now say that your wife has been proven innocent on those embezzlement and misuse of fund charges, but your son-in-law is now serving 6 years in prison for insider trading. Did you know of any impropriety going on within your family?
我的女婿他所涉及的台开内线交易案。
Regarding the case of my son-in-law, who's been charged with insider trading, for which the first trial has been completed, the result of which he's going to appeal, we believe that eventually the evidence will speak for the truth. Regarding the Sogo department store gift certificates case, I think it was first brought up in the year 2004 during the very vicious presidential election campaign. The legislators from my opponent's camp have chosen to use such news to tarnish my reputation and bring down my campaign. But 2 years later, finally, the judiciary has restored my wife's reputation.
But you yourself are accused of graft. In any case, you currently enjoy presidential immunity from prosecution, but when you step down, that may no longer be the case. Still, some in your party want that immunity to be extended for life. Is that something that you want, or would you prefer to step up and face the music?
因为总统作为国家的元首。
Because the president is head of state, his position must be protected and respected. I think this is the spirit of this Article 52 of our Constitution.
特别总统还享有因为依照宪法行使职权所。
The president also enjoys immunity when he exercises his duty according to the regulations in our Constitution. Because sometimes the president has to conduct top-secret state affairs.
我个人的事情，而是一个宪政制度使然。
I think this constitutional system exists for every president, not just for myself.
而是每一位总统都同样的享有这样的一个刑事豁免特权。
But would you like to have your day in court after the presidency? Do you want the chance to confront your accusers?
依照宪法，依照法律，这一个该怎么样？
It's really a matter of the system. I must respect the existing system, respect the Constitution, respect the existing regulations. I cannot evade any of these. I really must go by the system.
Many people here do think that you have a case to answer. We saw only a few months ago tens of thousands of people take to their streets and demand your resignation. If that's what so many people want, why have you been so determined to stay?
在2000年。
In the year 2000, I think my opposition had already launched its first recall motion, which was the first political storm that I faced as president. We had a dispute over this public issue of whether or not to continue construction of the fourth nuclear power plant. Over this issue, they launched a recall motion.
其次呢，在2004年的3月。
Also, in March 2004, the people had some disputes over the results of the presidential election after some very fierce competition. At that time, almost 500,000 people staged a protest in front of the presidential office, demanding that I step down.
大家有要求总统下台的权利。
The people have the right to demand that I step down, or to call for a recall motion. But I still insist that everything has to follow the constitutional system and the regulations. We should not violate that principle.
所以民主不外自由跟法治。
Because democracy is about freedom, but also about rule of law, so while we protect full-fledged freedoms of the press, speech, assembly, and association, and also protect the right of individuals to express their different political opinions, we still believe that everything has to abide by the rule of law. As the president, I must defend simultaneously the spirit and principles of democracy, freedom, and also rule of law.
Coming up, the push for an independent Taiwan and facing down China's military might.